Pounders, tonight we got a special guest joining us on Smash the Slate, week 4. We have Dooley that is out drinking beers at a Bruins preseason game. Shout out to Duels. Can't be with us tonight, RIP. But instead we have Miami's finest, NEZ, joining the crowd. What's going on, man?
Man, what has happened? Shout out to Dooley one time. Dooley's the man. I had no idea. People are amped for preseason hockey, dude. I don't know if you know this. People are pumped for a little puck. I saw some people down. There's like a little train stop down where I live. Tons of Stars fans flooding to the trains to get to the game. So people are amped for some hockey. It's crazy.
Hell yeah. I'm a hockey guy myself, ex-state champ in high school.
Oh,
but I'm no signatures. There's no signatures today. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it another time.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Completely washed. Yeah. Now I'm just a gym class hero.
were you like center? What were you?
Yeah. Center.
Oh yeah. Let's go, dude. Gotta get you and Warner on the ice together.
Let's go.
For rolls, 1v1
Let's
on
go.
the ice.
Let's go. A little pond hockey. Pond hockey in Massachusetts.
I gotta let him know. He'll love that.
That's the best. Let's pull up. Let's start with just looking at what happened last week. And my God, this is the second time in Battle Royale's history that a double wide receiver combo hits. Right?
Wow. I mean, I knew it was rare, but. Jeez Louise.
Second time. The first time was, so this is like 1 out of what? 1 out of 39. Second out of 39, I guess now. Mm-hmm. Keenan Allen throws a touchdown to Mike Williams.
Hey man, you'll take it any way you can get it. That was wild. I was wondering if somebody was going to benefit off that, and obviously, never gymless here. Clearly a benefactor of a wild slate. I didn't fare too well. I don't know about you.
I treaded waters. I was on the right pieces, just not all together.
Right.
Kelsey didn't end up being optimal. It was Sam Laporta, I believe.
It was Laporta.
So this isn't even like the nuts. Which
is like kind of gives you a little hope, I guess.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's all you need.
You don't have to be perfect, I mean, obviously, no A-Chain instead of Walker either, but A-Chain literally looks like was not drafted at all, which is like crazy.
Yeah, because he got like almost 50 or just touched the 50 mark?
Something like that, yeah. It was
4 touchdowns. Crazy.
Yeah,
just crazy. Yeah, he's not going to go undrafted this week, that's for sure.
No, but, I don't know how much I'll have of him, but he's definitely getting drafted.
Right. Definitely worth a sprinkle here and there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Some quick hellos: Adam, Nate, Bry H, Dylan, Dell, new names. B. Kurt, what's going on, fellas? Bry H, who just came in third, fellow pounder in a tournament. Nice little cash for Bry over the weekend.
Nice, dude. That'll help.
But it's not super surprising that we get like this sort of game, like the Chargers versus Minnesota. You get double wide receivers to be optimal.
Right. It kind of started off slow. We were like, oh, okay, like classic chalk spot flopping on us. But lo and behold, turns out 3 of the pieces are in the winning lineup, which I mean, kind of knew was. I mean, this game really did feel like it couldn't fail from the jump. Just the way that Minnesota's set up, the way that the Chargers are set up. I mean, Minnesota is just any game they're in. They are a target for me in some form or fashion on one end or the other.
Mm-hmm. For me, this previous week, it was Hawkinson. I think I rolled with 34% Hawkinson.
Can't be mad at that, man.
It didn't kill me. Right. It's a bet that, I feel pretty good if that piece hit. I had the pieces around it, but I think that's what put the sword through the heart this week. But moving on to this slate for this upcoming week, and we look at just the top 6 QBs, right? Six person drafts. So you're only taking 6 QBs. You have Burrow outside, Purdy outside. A-Rich, if he plays, is a super interesting.
Oh yeah,
interesting play this week. Fields, first Denver.
Dude,
Is this the last week? Is this the last week for Fields? It's the last week I'm putting my money on Fields.
So
at least
I think he has, because I was like foreshadowing on the show with the fellas, because like I have not just like Fields bags, I have Bears bags, so I'm down terribly, dude. So yeah, so here's the setup, right? He has Denver, which like should be a nice game, and then he goes to Washington, which like whatever, it's probably bad because it's the Bears, but then then he gets the Vikings. So that's what we want. He just needs to like make it to that Vikings game.
Don't be on the bench. Don't be on the bench for that game.
Yeah. Please like keep yourself on the field to that game. But he's gonna be chalk then. You know, like people aren't dumb. They're gonna
right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb for going for it, but I mean that's obviously weeks down the line. But against Denver, I think he's in play. But like, man, there's a big difference from the Bears to the Dolphins. Like, obviously, it doesn't need to be said. But
I agree, and it's not the lowest scoring total in the game on the slate. It's 46 points, Broncos, and it's at home for the Bears. And it just seems like, and I thought we were going to see it last week. I thought we were going to see Fields just start to take off.
I know,
and you can tell he's not playing his game, and then there's some hostility between him and the coaches. They're saying like, "Oh, he might not be our future." He's blaming the coach. It's very toxic. So Fields has to go out there, and this is the last week you'll hear it from me. I'm putting Fields on those random lineups where my QB stacks get sniped.
Yeah.
You don't have to stack them if you want to put Kmet in there. I think that's the best chance to go with Fields. But
I think so too. There's almost no way. Like it's a ceiling. DJ Moore game is like 20 points.
You know, like, ultra ceiling.
Yeah,
right.
Like you probably don't want him if that's the case, right? Like you would rather, because like Fields is probably smashing. So yeah, all that to say, Kmet, if I'm stacking Fields, it's pretty much Kmet only, and treating him as like one of those emergency escape valves if I get totally sniped in one of these drafts.
Lamar Jackson seems like he goes too late. Like going off the board as QB6. Cleveland's not an easy opponent, but I mean, last couple weeks,
you know, because like I don't know, like the Ravens just haven't been like rolling like this Todd Monken offense. I'm waiting for it. Like, please, like, where's the explosiveness? Where's the fireworks? And haven't seen it yet. And dude, this Browns defense.
Where's Bateman?
Just right? Hello. Like missing persons, like report.
Yeah. Send it out.
It's, you know, this is just so uncanny. It was like if he's on the field, like we're gonna get some explosive plays, and they're not even like trying to use them. It seems like so. I'm like, I'm gonna be way underweight Lamar Andrews this week, and I hope it doesn't bite me. It probably will, but man, early reports and results on this Browns defense is they're legit. Yeah,
no doubt. Which means you might get Lamar having to run the ball, and that's not a bad thing.
I like that
fantasy
thought process.
Again, he didn't throw a touchdown this game, and he cracks 28. So that's there's growing pains with the new pieces, but tough opponent. We'll see. He'll have to get there on the ground. Kirk is showing a ceiling right now. Typically just a floor guy, finishing as a QB1 last year like 10 times on his starts, and then finishing as a top 3 QB just once last year. He has more weapons, and he's just really showing a new side. Over 300 yards both games, throwing the ball a shit ton.
That's a big thing. Is that offense like has no intentions of running the football, just none. Like, well, maybe they do, but they just simply can't. They're incapable of being able to run the football because they're not good at it and they're always losing. So this, I mean, I didn't hit on any pick'ems this week, but one of my core plays was that Kirk Cousins pass attempts last week, and I don't know
That
what
was
it
a
is
smash.
if they have it up yet, but I would do it. I would goddamn do it again against the Panthers, man, because that's all they do is throw the ball. And I was I think I might have been a week early, hopefully a week early, because I'm back on the Addison train, but a week early on the Addison stuff. I thought that was going to be his time to shine. You can see he has that explosive profile of like he's going to hit 2 touchdowns for 140 here like very soon. It's just a matter of when, but I mean, dude, this is like a dream fantasy setup, right? They run 3 wide sets all the time. They only have 3 dudes to like run routes, other than Hawkinson, and they have a good quarterback. Like Kirk Cousins is good is good. Like I'm sorry if that offends anybody. I don't think it does in 2023, but Kirk Cousins is good. So this is an awesome.
He's good for fantasy, especially.
Oh yeah, dude, he's good in real life.
He is. He is.
I mean, like
he may not have a clutch bone in his entire body, but he's good. He's good.
I mean,
in today's day and age, NFL football pocket passers. But look at the weapons, though. Hawkinson, he's like proven to be like a number 2, like on this team.
Hawkinson, and I like Hawkinson, yeah.
And Addison, like you said, like he can get there with 2 catches.
Right. Like there will be a game very soon where he has just 2 monster deep balls and it's just fantasy goodness. So I'm going to make Addison a large part of my portfolio until he hits.
It seems like we might get the same eventually from Marvin Mims as well. Catching a lot of deep balls in Denver. I think he got home.
How do we make sense of this Mims stuff?
No, he didn't get home last week, but if he did, he cracks into...
I mean, 15 fantasy points there?
But he's getting there with 2 or 3 catches. So
he's running like single-digit routes.
Yeah.
He's getting home.
Let me peek it.
So it's like, what are... You guys drafted him.
Unleash him.
Like you inherited him. Like, what is going on?
24%.
He's a peacock.
We gotta let him fly.
Gotta let him fly.
Love that. Love that.
Gotta let him fly. So it's
you gotta get the reference.
Only a matter of time. You would think here, but I'll be honest, man. I don't think that this like Sean Payton Russell Wilson marriage is going to have a happy ending. I don't whatever that ends up being like. Who knows? But they just seem different as far as like how they. What they like to do. They're just not a good match. Like Russ is like he sits in the pocket way too long. He takes a lot of sacks and because he likes the deep ball. Not a whole lot of deep threats right now, other than Mims, who they don't play. And Peyton is more of like a quick release guy, like going back to his Breeze days. That's not Russ. So
it's tough. I think early in this game too, a Judy touchdown got called back, like a Sutton touchdown got called back. And then obviously we saw. Whatever, Miami tried to kill the clock, and every time they ran the ball, they took it to the house. It's just gonna be the longest game ever.
Yeah. There will be games. It seems like.
Yeah. This is promising though. Like last week or 2 weeks ago against Washington, being able to put up 3 titties.
Yeah.
56 yards rushing.
Yeah, like that was great to see. He has a game against the Vikings this season, so whenever that happens, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, a little sneaky play potentially for
Week
Russ.
11. Put it on your calendar.
Love that. Anything else like down here that you're even sniffing out at all?
As far as QBs go, not really, man. Let's see here. Like I think you can think about Deshaun Watson against Baltimore. I think I'm not really too intimidated by the Baltimore defense, and this is an offense that I think is going to age pretty well as like the weeks go on. And without Nick Chubb, like they're going to inherently have to pass a little bit more. So I think they can get rolling here pretty nicely. But otherwise, the quarterback is just so top heavy this week.
Yeah, it feels that way to me as well. For QBs. Burrow is just not looking good in Cincy. He's clearly being bothered by the calf.
I think so, but I'm taking him this week, man. I'll tell you what, I'm taking.
You're probably gonna have to throw against Tennessee. Like even Ford, I was just looking. Like Jerome Ford got stood up by Tennessee, and Cleveland has a top 5 O line. top 3 O line, arguably. So
yeah, he kind of he got pretty fortunate there with the touchdown luck. But the Tennessee run defense is so for real, and they're gonna have to pass, and let's just hope the pass rush doesn't get to Burrow, because that seems to be a bit of a problem too. But Higgins, we're doing the same thing over again with Higgins. Like I haven't seen his air yard share just yet. But I know he's going to be poised for another bounce back. And like we just mentioned, they're going to have to pass against Tennessee, but he goes undrafted a lot of the time. So I'm going right back to that. Well,
Nick brings up a good point. He threw nearly 50 times too. And sure, Chase ends up having a good game. Looks like Higgins had holes in his gloves. Like he couldn't catch anything.
Oh yeah. But
you can see Chase get there this week against Tennessee, I believe.
Yeah, these are, we're looking like Bestball Mania ADPs here with all these wide receivers at the top. But I mean, this first week, I think that we've had all these stud wide receivers on one slate, and they all have great matchups. So,
is there anyone in this top, out of these receivers here, is there anyone you want to be super overweight on?
That I want to be overweight on?
If you get the 4th pick, and you can have Keenan Allen every time or anyone after him, are you going Keenan Allen every time, or do you want to be overweight on Devontae Adams?
I think I'm going to be I can tell you I'm going to be underweight on. I think it's going to be Keenan Allen.
Okay.
I'm not so certain that Vegas is going to be able to push the Chargers to the point where they're going to be passing a lot. So I'm just concerned about the volume there. But I mean, I wouldn't, like, once all those wide receivers go, like, then I would take Keenan Allen. And it does seem kind of like murky now. I will see how ADP like settles, because if I'm volume drafting, then at a certain point I don't want to like full fade Keenan Allen, but I am going to be underweight because I like all these other guys' matchups more.
Even with the Mike Williams injury, I mean,
obviously,
this is unexpected, but like you can expect 10 plus targets guaranteed.
Yeah, I would say probably like his pick'em would probably be like 10 targets. I would say. I mean, obviously the situation is great, and it's not a good defense. Like we just saw the Steelers light up Vegas. But now that I talked this out, if we don't get Jimmy G in Vegas, then I would probably take Keenan over Devontae there. That would probably be the only one I would.
Love it. Drew jumping in saying he's got his own baby on, man.
Oh,
we just had. I have baby brain myself. We just had our first day off at daycare today for the young one. So.
Oh really?
The emotions today. Especially from the wifey. Not as much for me. But appreciate you stopping in, Drew. Let's jump into one. Let's see how these rooms are adjusting.
I did.
You guys haven't already, go down, smash the like. If you don't already follow NEZ on YouTube, on Twitter, the links are in the description, and you have to. You have to at this point. First off, we have to know how Miami goes.
Oh yeah,
and we have to see if you win a second ticket into Miami.
I'm trying.
How many bullets did you put into last week's Miami Bowl?
Last week I had quite a few, I will say, and I was pretty close. Let's see here. Last week I had 44 bullets in there, and my best finish was 57th, but had Raheem Mostert, had Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
But I had Jerome Ford instead of Kenneth Walker. And but I had a little cheeky Deshaun Watson to Elijah Moore, which is what GME Holder had, who took down first. So I was
no way.
Almost there.
So he was just optimal everywhere else.
Yeah, we
he must have had Sam Laporta.
I lost on a 2v2. He had Laporta and he had Kenneth Walker, whereas I had Jerome Ford and and TJ Hawkinson.
I liked Hawk last week too.
Isn't that crazy? Oh well, we'll get him next week.
It is what it is. You can't change a thing. It very easily could have gone the other way. And Hawkinson dropped a touchdown at the very end of the game. He was also exhausted. CMC is an easy lock for me here at 1.
Yeah, it's hard to justify it being anything else. Like
running backs fall off too this week, especially if Eckler plays. If we get like any sniff of news that he's playing, this ADP is probably going to go to what, 9? Jump in front of Pollard.
Yeah, I think it goes to 9. I'm drafting him as if he's playing, man. I want to get out of if I'm drafting on a Tuesday, like I want to get out ahead of that because, like you said, this spot is just like pristine with no Mike Williams and a banged up Las Vegas team.
Right.
This is an absolute smash spot. Yeah. So I'm trying to get that high leverage play, but
put him on a snap count. Who cares? He's gonna have a huge role in the red zone still.
Yeah. So. I have a bad feeling we're gonna get DNP limited, and then it's like shit. Like what do we do? But
it's
I'm getting ahead of it. If he might fall more, and if he does, I mean, I hope he does, because then it gives you better options for, you're building better teams. Because if he's still questionable, you get a swap, but you're not paying a premium.
Which I use my swap. What week did he get hurt? Was it week 2 into week 3?
Yeah.
I was drafting a ton of Eckler for the exact same reason, risk reward. If he doesn't play, you get to swap him out, and you have more news by that time on Sunday morning. Yeah. And 5 minutes before NFL kickoff, I swapped out 30% Eckler for Kyren Williams, and Kyren went bonkers, and he was under 1% owned. I just didn't have the pieces around it again.
Oh, come on.
Balls.
Okay.
I think I like running it back with Hawk or Kittle this week, but already having CMC.
I'm okay with doing Kittle and CMC on my teams, but I have no problem going Hawkinson here. I mean, we just talked about the pass volume. Tight end hasn't had a separator just yet, well, necessarily, but Hawkinson definitely kind of stands out.
I like it. And we'll bring in Eckler, like we said.
Yeah. You can definitely go ahead and do that like right now in these, because in the 6-person drafts, the swap, like it's totally fine. But I think if you are doing the 12-person drafts, like you definitely need to understand that if he doesn't play, like your swap options are not going to be good. Like in the 12-person drafts, you're not going to be left with any good swap options. But in this contest, in the 6-person drafts, you can replace him like no problem. Hell, you might even go back to the Josh Kelly well. I mean,
are we ever going back to the Josh Kelly well though? I feel like it's expired.
Oh yeah, I think he
just
might
fill it with cement. Fill it with cement. This thing's it's over.
On the ban list, but this is such a good matchup. Once again, it's like, do I want to be smart? Do I want to be the smart guy and like the cheeky play, and then like lose my money for trying to be smart? Or it's tough. It's tough, but I'm taking Eckler in the meantime.
Nick in the live stream gets JJ Stephon Diggs start, which is fire, and he brings it back with Josh Allen.
Wow.
Good things happen on the live stream. Rarely to me, but definitely to the viewers. Jalen Waddle's another one I'm ready to risk it for this week.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like, I mean, concussions are scary, but it is just a concussion.
And then, like I'm assuming he already missed a game, so I'm assuming he's playing. Like, 95%.
I like it this week.
Another receiver you're targeting, like Evans gets eaten up by Lattimore every year. It seems like.
Oh yeah, that seems like that's a trap. Kicked out of the game pretty early. I mean, to be honest, dude, it's gross, but like, and I'm not doing it here, but like, I do like Adam Thielen. I'm doing T. Higgins.
Damn.
Oh, dude, revenge.
Yeah, T. Higgs get there.
That's secondary.
And then who do we want our QB to be? I guess we could go.
I think Cousins or you can. I think Cousins works for me.
We'll bring in Cousins here. This game could be like over by halftime, but as long as they don't punch in 2 in the ground.
The thing is like,
should be fun.
Can the Vikings bury anybody? Like, are they able to do that? Can they put a game out of reach in the first half?
if there was a team, it's probably Carolina. Isn't like Andy Dalton starting this week? Maybe he's the piece you need.
Andy Dalton didn't look at that.
Maybe he's the piece you need this week.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like his going
Thielen
with,
revival.
dude. Going with a little Thielen, going with a little DJ Chark.
It's a nice bring back for this.
Especially Miles Sanders too. Like, I mean, all these Carolina pieces are very much viable, which is like insane to say and think about. But
let's pull this up because I want to see the snap counts between these receivers right now. Thielen out there 92%, DJ Chark. So it's very much these two in two wide receiver sets.
Don't like that.
Ouch. Yeah, and even Terrace Marshall getting a bump.
Right, like clearly usurped him.
It's hard to argue with like Thielen versus like DJ Chark is like Keenan Allen versus Mike Williams in my mind.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great comp. Like very similar play styles.
Like typically I would just want DJ Chark in these. Like I would want Mike Williams.
Yeah, just for like the touchdown equity, seems like he has more big play upside.
Right.
Yeah, Higgins goes here. I honestly don't think it's crazy.
Which one do you like?
I think I like Thielen, to be honest.
All right, the number.
I think they're going to be able to drive the field, and Thielen seems like more of the by the goal line option. You know, like stays kind of close to the line of scrimmage with a lot of his routes.
Definitely. DJ Chark, you need to get in there from 30, 40 yards out.
Yeah, which I mean is totally possible against this secondary. I mean, the Vikings just are like seriously like God's gift to us in fantasy. Oh, okay. Thanks, Josh.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. I hope he's okay.
Kelly sold me 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, man.
You're not the only one, my man. You're not the only one. Seemed like smash spots too.
Yeah, I spent a lot of fab on old Josh Kelly and in my managed leagues and started him with confidence.
Cortland Sutton's a good scroll down, and he brings that up. Definitely, he was a major target in this game that Judy played.
Yeah, Judy continuing to be drafted over him. I kind of don't have a problem with it, but I mean, I'm Sutton over Judy.
And Tutu really showing some speed last night.
I think Tutu and or Nakua bounce back, or Tutu had a nice night, but a Nakua bounce back would not surprise me against Indy. This Indy Rams game is a sneaky, like awesome spot this week to get different.
Do you think Puka might have been figured out though, with some contact at the line just to slow him down, push him off his route, and now, he got how many targets in the second half? Like 2? He had 4 catches at halftime. And I need him to get 2 catches to complete a 5-piece and a 3-piece for pick'ems.
It's a lot of faith.
And he gets 1 catch.
Yeah. Dude, I in those Monday night drafts, I took like
that was crazy.
Nakua, and it hurt.
We'll bring in Tyreek Hill here. He's just been going nuclear.
Yeah, he's going to have the best ceiling every week. So you can't blame anybody for preferring Tyreek, even over Jefferson. Like I wouldn't blame anybody for doing that. But just this week is interesting. Like I'm looking at these quarterbacks too, man. I feel like Jalen Hurts can have a crazy week against Washington.
Definitely.
At home.
Definitely. He can separate. I think Josh Allen can very easily separate. This game could go nuclear too, where maybe Tua. There is a couple options, and you have some outside the top. You have Lamar, you have Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields, who are they're never dead.
No, they're not, right? Like they're not. It's not over till it's over with those guys, and we kind of lose. Okay, so I kind of like doing Jalen Hurts here.
Yeah, we could just go because I feel like most people won't. Most people are probably going Josh Allen here for the bring back with Tyreek Hill. So I think this will actually be low owned.
Could potentially get a AJ Brown fall, or if not, like
Smith is fine.
Love Devontae Smith. So
yeah,
no problems. No problems.
Bounce back game.
Puka is still too high in ADP. I think he's gonna fall, but I think that the Bengals defense is a little underrated. Is kind of what I'm chalking that up to. We'll see. I hope he's not figured out, because that would
one pick away. We can go Smith here, or we can go Eckler too. Like, I'm cool with going naked Hurts as well. Eckler could fall, but he also could rise, right?
I know but in these lobbies tonight though, like I typically am able to get him in the 4th. I feel like.
Okay. The insider knowledge.
Yeah, that's just what I've seen.
How many deep are you so far?
Only like 5 on the regular BRs, but I did 5 goal line stands too, because I dude, I think I'm better. I like the goal line stands more, so I want to I want to do more of those, because I just think when it comes to drafting 72 players and knowing who to take later in the drafts, like I feel like I have an edge there. So I'm like, why don't I just stay in these formats? But it's hard to like not take shots at 30K either. That would be fantastic.
I agree with you. If you believe that you have better edge at identifying those games that you want to target, those single players, deeper player pools, I think that's smart.
Even though this week is too, when you get to those 5th and 6th rounds, it is nasty, bad style.
How about a little like B-Rob bring back for this team?
I actually like it. I'm not so certain that this is a good defense here, or like how good of a defense it actually is.
And who do we like here? We can go Marky Mark or go Olave. I like Jalen Waddle here, but we already have Hill.
Olave is cool with me.
Well, I'm not double stacking Hurts. It's just it's too thin.
One thing that I would consider, and like I'm not saying we have to, is doing Hurts pass catcher and Devontae Smith as well, and just play that game as like they just absolutely steamroll. Given the state of the slate, I think that's definitely in play. It's something that I like to do, even if I don't get a pass catcher. Just doing QB and running back pairings. I don't think it's done enough, and I think it hits more than people think. But Robinson, I love Brian Robinson.
Isn't that how they beat them last year? They just ran the ball like 54 times.
Yeah,
was that Washington against Philly?
I think it was like their first loss of the season, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh yeah, I guess their run defense is a problem now. And then
we could go Mark Andrews here.
It feels
there is a drop off. Like there's it goes from Mark Andrews to Henry, you know?
Yeah, I think this is Mark Andrews. It's hard to say no to that, because like you said, the drop off is so stark, and we don't really want to double stack. If I'm left and I'm like the last tight end off the board, I'm typically going Tyler Higbee this week.
I like that. I like a reach down for Higbee.
I really like that game, with or without Richardson. I think that has nice little back and forth potential there.
How about Parham getting in the end zone twice? But again, he's strictly just a red zone guy, so
you can't,
limited ceiling.
Yeah, good luck trying to hit that.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest disappointment for people. I was reading on Twitter, sort of shedding tears, is this point total for this game, especially for Miami, putting up 70 plus.
70, yeah.
He goes 1 target, 1 catch for 15 yards.
Oh, and yeah, he's running all the routes. I was one of them. I'm like, yeah, why not Durham Smythe this week?
Yeah.
Jeez. Tight end is just a wasteland, man. It's awful.
D-Hop. I know what's crazy is Burks. Just is he still hurt with that knee injury he suffered in preseason? Because we were hearing about just breakout year 2, and it's been everything but.
He might be.
Could also go Swift here and just say that Philly steamrolls, but then you're lowering the ceiling, I feel like, on Jalen Hurts. That Hurts isn't getting in the end zone.
I guess that's true, right? I mean, it's
right.
Robinson's probably the more sound.
In smaller slates, like that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like if you do that in the goal line stand or something, I think that can work. That type of correlation probably pans out more often.
Right. Do you guys think he's going to this season? Like, it's going to be difficult to spot when he does it.
I know that's a problem. It's like I don't know how to call these A-Chain games anymore, and it's only going to get murkier once Jeff Wilson comes back.
Yeah, week 5. And like he takes 2 to the house. Man, all right. I'm an absolute spoon tonight. I'm not. It is what it is. It is. I'm just a spoon. I don't know what to say.
You're getting that algo bump there.
We're getting this. We're getting the CMC exposure this week. Bry, shout out to Bry here.
Oh,
it's gonna be really tough to identify, but he is one of those spike week guys that, yeah, you probably should be mixing in. Like, what's the difference between going A-Chain at the very end or going like Derrick Henry, who's not going drafted right now? Well, maybe a total of 30 years and 5,000 carries less.
I think that might be the difference there.
Right.
Gosh, man, I will have A-Chain this week, but it's going to be very tilting, and it could result in single-digit fantasy points because we haven't seen him in like a real game. That was
right.
Like I don't even know what you call that, but that was not a real game.
Yeah, it was legendarily bad for Denver.
Kind of loved it.
Yeah, probably still gonna mix him in this week in those Josh Allen, Gabe Davis stacks. The Josh Allen and Josh Allen's someone that you can go naked Josh too, and that works fine.
Yeah.
It happened several times last year where he was optimal and he didn't bring anyone else along with him. Now you get 2 pass catching tight ends, and this is just getting the tight end situation there is getting murky.
He's liable to
Buffalo
just spread the ball around and run for one. So I am like, I don't know if maybe it's just like, I mean, I did it a little bit last week too, where I wasn't like married to any stacking, but I did it more often than not. Here, I'm very much like liable to like not stack just because for whatever reason it feels more difficult. I'm not sure. It's just like the way that my drafts have kind of panned out so far. It's weird.
And I'm going to have some Diggs Allen stacks just because it can happen, and this could be a crazy game script for it. But how do we get all of the pieces, right? Is it Josh Allen, Diggs, and then we go Waddle? Is it Josh Allen, Diggs, or Josh Allen, Gabe Davis, and A-Chain? Like, I do want to have pieces in that game.
It feels like a Bill or a Dolphin is going to be in the winning lineup, at least one.
But I don't like Puka here.
No, this is too soon.
I'm going to have like no Puka this week.
You can't. I think Tony Pollard is fine. At home.
I'll mix in Pollard here after ADP, 2 picks with CMC.
Like, bad game and he got 13 points.
Right.
He's still, the usage is still elite.
Could just reach up for Tua here.
You want Tua and then try to snag Waddle on the way back?
That's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan. Where's the Hill team? Yeah, the Hill team doesn't have a QB.
Yeah.
So if Hill's team already had a QB, then we probably go Waddle there instead.
Yeah, I really this game to a lesser extent because these are more competent teams, but obviously like strong shades of Vikings and Chargers where it is like the super chalk. At least on
definitely
on Underdog, it's like the super chalk,
but 53.5 point game total, close game, -2.5 for the Bills. slight favorites.
Like, I'm wondering how does this game disappoint us? What takes place that this
basically the Chargers Jags 17-9. That had a 50-point total.
Yeah. But like,
so it's already happened where we've seen the most juicy game on the slate just go sour.
It seems like if this game goes south, it's because like the Bills fucked up. And they're at home, but like it's because like Josh Allen turned the ball over and they scored on one of those turnovers. And Miami runs the ball and it's like nothing in the air. Just like trying to like think through these scenarios.
So not fireworks. And there's that could happen in any game, I suppose.
Well, yeah, that's just like thinking range of outcomes, but like how does that take place? And we kind of forget when we're drafting about like the special teams aspect and the defense aspect of these games and how they dictate game flow and how many plays offenses run. I wonder, like, it's just like, can Miami be figured out? Is it possible?
Right.
Easy.
All right, let's do the double tap here. We get that game stack.
What is that guy doing that took Ferguson? What's he building?
He's just, he's doing what I did. He's doing what I did when I won. Is just building your own team.
Yeah, just doing whatever the hell you want.
Just building his team.
I mean, I like the Zach Moss pick. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that usage has been insane. 30 rushing attempts. Like, is this the new Derrick Henry?
Yeah, like we haven't seen 30 rushing attempts in God, how long?
It's crazy. He's had a touchdown every game. Well, this is a preseason game, I believe, right?
Yes.
I don't think he didn't play week 1. But still, yeah, it's still true. Back-to-back games.
Yeah, so, geez, like what happens when JT, like if JT's ready to come back? That's gonna be. I'm holding my breath there.
Right. That's so true. Good time if you guys plan redraft and you have Zach Moss to probably sell high if you expect JT to stay.
Yeah, because if they dude, it's
this is a good point, and I feel like this is true too by Adam Muth. Muth is a good click. He's finally starting to get targets. It wasn't it was a small bump, but I think they might. I think this game we see Pittsburgh show some life against Houston.
I would love that. They are surprisingly 2-1. It doesn't feel like they're 2-1.
No.
But
doesn't.
Houston, man, like looks kind of good.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Well, Stroud's throwing the ball a shit ton. Look at these passing attempts. 44, 47, and 30 against the Jags. This game,
and he still gets 20 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Like he looks good. They clearly have trust in him. And like this Texans defense doesn't seem to be like horrible.
Right.
Like they've got some really young, like nice young talent there.
Houston been shutting down the pass though. Yeah, they've had a good secondary since last year. Relatively good.
And they've had tough matchups, sort of.
I like Henry here just for the bring back, little mini stack in the Dallas New England game.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
And you're basically just looking for 4 catches and a touchdown, right?
Yeah. I mean, for me,
Henry's usage has been great too.
Yeah. He looks like the part, and this Patriots offense without Matt Patricia being the offensive coordinator seems to actually show some signs of competence, but it's still pretty bleak at the end of the day. But Hunter Henry is the bright spot there for sure.
It's so true.
Your boy Adam really wants to address this Jacoby Myers.
All right. All right.
Is
All
there
right.
is there a bit that I'm missing, or is it
No,
is he
no.
just love Jacoby?
I like this. This is actually like Myers could be a nice bring back in your Charger stack this week. I'm completely fine with this. He's getting 10 plus targets when he plays. Adams has taken most of the coverage and he's still dominating. But
Jesus.
But Myers, I have one Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams start so far,
Oof.
which is I'm going to click that. I'm going to click that. But Myers, surprisingly, we think of him as sort of like, I don't know, a lesser Keenan Allen, just sort of like a floor guy that gets a ton of targets in the middle of the field.
Like, for me, it comes down to, do you trust? I mean, it's looking like it's going to be Aiden O'Connell. Like, what's up with Jimmy?
Yeah.
He's in a concussion protocol.
Yeah, that could be bad.
I feel like
that could be bad.
Yeah, they tend. It seems
that
like
could be bad.
The way that things are trending, concussion protocol equals at least one game missed.
Yeah. That's what like they're letting him sit out one full game. So yeah, that's actually going to be a downgrade for Adams and Myers in my mind. But I like what they're doing with Myers. Like they're putting him in different positions. He's making toe tap catches on the sidelines too. Like he looks good. And as a Pats fan, I'm pissed we have Juju. I'm pissed.
Why? Like, why would you give up Jacoby to bring in Juju? It makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever.
But
that was one of the more puzzling moves this offseason. Suffice to say, we both really like Jacoby Myers, and this is a great matchup for him. But I will say though, Aiden O'Connell has gotten a ton of love. For being a late quarterback pick that he was. It's going to be fun to watch him start if he is the named starter for Sunday.
I love that. What if just one $5 draft with him, on a Devontae Adams start, just one $5.
Who was the quarterback last year that got that Carr was sat for, that had like a fantastic game for the Raiders last year? Why can't I? It obviously wasn't Peterman.
I don't think he's still there. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just thinking shades of that. Like Aiden O'Connell is that in 2023.
Right. Or like Mike White when Tua sat one game. Didn't Mike White have a huge game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mike White's the truth.
Trilly, King of Kings in the live stream. Let's go.
Jared Stidham. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, Stidham. That's right. I should have known that.
Oh, man.
The expat. Dude, that one game alone had people drafting Stidham in like the Superflex tournaments, the early Superflex tournaments, because like, oh, Russ is all done. You saw some Stidhams mixing in there.
The Superflex leagues are just like, that's
ultra big brain.
Yeah, that's
big brain.
Bridge too far. Bridge too far for your boy. I can't do
Buddy, that. I was we're galaxy braining like Marcus Mariota for like Jalen Hurts injuries, like
because it hurts my head. That hurts my head.
Yeah.
All right, you don't get the 1, but you get the 2 here.
We might still get CMC. I kind of felt it. When there's hesitation at the one spot,
you gotta take it.
I'm good. I'm good here. Like CMC could have 150 yards at halftime.
Right. I know the Cardinals are like nice and frisky right now, playing some good football, hanging in there against the Giants, beating the Cowboys, but this is
the fun
49ers, buddy.
The fun ends here. You could really see a like time of possession that's just like 70-30.
Niners are just like a complete team.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I want one piece of the 49ers this week in probably like 70% of my lineups. Like, I do want one piece of that game, whether it's Kittle, it's CMC.
Well, on the receiving end, both of those receivers have Q tags, so they're getting pushed down when they're in like the best spot of the week. So what are we doing?
100%. I'd rather Debo over probably Puka, Lamb, and Smith if I knew he was playing.
I have custom ranks up right now. I don't even know that like I have Puka included in them because like you know what I mean. Like I just want to push that far down. No, he is in here. Where do I have him?
I love that. No, I see him. He's at pick 181.
He's way down here, like just below Debo for me, and right above a person that we didn't really talk about, but Javonte Williams.
I'm cool going Jalen Hurts again, to be honest.
He just feels like a lot. He feels live for a 30 burger this week.
Yeah. Justin Herbert could get there too against Vegas pretty easily.
Yeah.
We'll see if Eckler ends up playing.
Yeah, he's interesting because nobody really wants to stack him with QJ. And I mean, neither do I. And especially not with Josh Palmer. So it's really like Keenan or bust. But I would do it with Eckler personally, too. So do we do Eckler? You know, I mean,
I don't hate it. Smith is probably like the obvious.
Yeah.
Is it a little different because we get 2 ADP spots on Hurts and CMC? Probably not.
It might. I don't know.
I think we have this exact start.
Did we do it?
Chat. Who was watching closely? Do we have this exact start tonight?
I think the last 2 drafts ago, did we get this exact start? Or did we do that with somebody else?
We'll get different. Ayuk wide receiver 1 if Debo doesn't play, and Ayuk was practicing, but again, like shoulder injuries for receivers going up and catching the ball, it's a tough injury. AC
They're
joint.
saying for Ayuk,
I thought so.
Looks like Debo just has sore ribs, no fracture and no strain there, so that's good. I feel like we're probably not going to get a lot of practice out of him this week, but it seems like he's.
But he'll play. Yeah, that's the way I see it too. You don't mind going San Fran like 2 pieces?
No, dude, not at all. Not at all. Like without a quarterback too, like no problem for me, man. If I see a spot like this where I just think a team can just go berserk, like I'm more than happy taking 2 pieces from that team. But when you get to 3, that's when like it gets pretty thin.
Cool Waddle here. Yeah, 3 is super thin. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think this is what like, dude, like Puka for me is like last round only.
Josh, yeah, I just don't see it.
And Jacobs is due, but
Waddle, we get a piece of the highest game totals on the slate. Yeah. Josh Jacobs, I feel like a Josh Jacobs week is coming.
It is. It definitely is.
They made a point after halftime to run the ball. Now, you would have liked to have seen it maybe happen against Denver if it was going to happen. But
yeah, right?
Man. They could get also behind in this game, and it could get pretty gross if Jimmy's not playing too.
I know. Like, it could happen, but it doesn't feel good.
And this is where, like, I just sort of get stuck here because, like, these tight ends, I don't want to double stack Jalen Hurts. Because how does he become optimal, right? And it's usually going to be rushing yards. He gets in the end zone once or twice, and then you're looking for one receiver to get 130, 120 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, you need, like, elite efficiency because the volume just really just isn't there. But I prefer Devontae Smith.
So this could just be a scroll the F down type pick. This could be like Cade Otton.
You know, just like I think Njoku is interesting. I know I was talking about the Browns earlier. He's pretty far down.
That's true.
13. Hurst against the Vikings, I think, is also very interesting.
Hurst, like, let me see the usage this last game. Because Game 1, 53%. Game 2, 55, 61. So it's slightly trending upward. You want this to go to likely 70% plus. I'm cool with Njoku.
Yeah, I think Njoku is a nice
Pat Fry.
I would just say Njoku because I think these guys project like neck and neck.
Very similar. Yeah.
And Njoku is going to be drafted like 50% less.
Oh, yeah, probably even less than that for how far down he is.
Mm-hmm. Like,
it's also probably not a popular game.
Is crazy.
That's ridiculous. That a Njoku week is coming. It is coming. Is it going to be Ravens-Browns 41.5 point total? Maybe. But the Steelers-Texans is 41 point total, so it's not like that's a great game script either for Pat Fry.
When you take a tight end in the 6th round, like all you're hoping for is that it's great if he separates, but what you're really hoping for is that like all these tight ends cannibalize themselves and you spent the least capital on that cannibalization.
Right. And you get 11 points.
Yep. And the high score was 13. Like with no Kelsey on the slate, it seems extremely plausible. And the matchup for Andrews being dog shit, like this might be a 6th round.
That's why I like Hawkinson so much this week.
No, see, that's why I think that decision tree leads me to Hawkinson too.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
All right, Nez, we're gonna be wrapping this up, guys. If you haven't already, go down. If you enjoyed the stream, slap the like, join the pound, hit the sub. We're almost at 1K.
Yeah,
my God,
come on, guys. We need
31 away.
We need the 1K. Like it's time.
It's time. UFC.
Nobody more deserving than you of 1K, man. Let's get this done. Come on.
Appreciate you coming on, Nez. Do you have anything for the people? I know you're writing your own articles now.
Yeah.
So I've been dipping into those. Super sharp.
Yeah, I put them out on Sunday just because there's so much stuff and data that I'm waiting for until like I feel comfortable putting it out. So it is like a more of like a Sunday morning type thing where if you want to go in and draft, I have some thoughts on the way the slate is played out. So yeah, that's neztakes.com. You'll continue to see those on Sundays most likely. And we are streaming on the Underdog Daily channel as well. So if you're not subbed to that, go ahead and throw a sub there. We are streaming there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But dude, I love coming on this show with you. It's always great chopping it up, getting to talk some ball with you. So I appreciate you making me a recurring guest. It's truly an honor.
It's great to have you on. And again, you bring a lot to the table and change my mind with so many takes. One last question for the crowd. Curry Goat, what do you think about CD this week, Nez, against the Pats?
The price is pretty high for me right now, but the thing that I always say with CD is that like he rarely disappoints. He like even in like a tough matchup, he's almost always like, I mean, the Arizona game was a bit of a fluke, but he's just always so dependable more often than not. So I like CD this week.
And he got there against the Jets too.
Oh, dude, he got there big time. Like
if he gets in the end zone, he becomes optimal.
Yeah, so I don't know if they were just kind of asleep for this Arizona game, but I think teams get up for New England, and they're back at home. I like CD this week, but I'm not going to be overweight. I will say that.
Hell yeah, I love that. Adam road to 1K, then it's 10K. Baby steps, baby steps. I appreciate everyone coming on tonight. Hope you have a good weekend, and we're gonna be we'll be back live I think on Thursday. So. Have a good one, guys. Pounders.